this season in his return.
Hell, I expect him to be KD. Hell, he's still 7 foot tall, Skip. Ain't like the Achilles shrunk him 5-6 inches.
I hope not.
There's nothing wrong with his elbow. There's nothing wrong with his shoulder. And I get it, the Achilles injury, Skip, and that used to be a death sentence for a basketball player. But Kevin Durant, Skip, Kevin Durant is not, he doesn't play above the rim. A lot of what he's predicated on is being able to stand out there and light you up from distance. Or he can put the ball on the floor, and I still believe he'll be able to put the ball on the floor and get to the mid-range. I still believe he can play with his back to the basket and get to the rim. So I don't see him being impacted by this injury, Skip. Like I said, he's still going to be able to shoot that ball at a 9-foot apex. You can't block it. So I expect Kevin Durant to be Kevin Durant. Great. Nothing, for me, in my mind, nothing changes about this guy. He's still a historically great player. He will continue to be a historically great player. And like I said, and I get, I was listening to him and he says, dealing with the Achilles injury, you're non-weight bearing, Skip. You can't walk on it. You got to relearn.
3 months.
Right. You got to relearn how to walk and, run and do all these other things.
He said every other injury he's had took 3 months to get over, period.
Right.
And this took 3 months before you can even walk without your walker.
Your little motorized scooter. So for me, Skip, I expect Kevin Durant to be great. I'm not going, oh man, all of a sudden, man, he don't look like Kevin Durant. Yeah, he is. Watch what happens. First game, he probably going to go out there and get your easy 25, 30, and you're like, yep, he back.
Okay. So you have just acknowledged that he is ready to regain his title of best player on the planet.
Skip.
That's what you just said. I believe I heard that from you.
I said Kevin Durant's going to be Kevin Durant. Nobody other than you thinks Kevin Durant's a better player than LeBron.
Yeah.
And it's okay. That's not a knock. That's not a knock.
So what did we see in back-to-back NBA
Skip, that was 2 years ago. That was 3 years ago. What about now?
So I'm here to tell you and to remind all of Laker Nation that the biggest break LeBron has ever gotten in his career came last year when there was no Kevin Durant to upstage him in the finals, because I believe he would have. The biggest break LeBron got, and he talked about how injuries dictate. You got to stay healthy.
Right.
Well, obviously, Kevin Durant did not stay healthy. I thought he might be ready to return for the bubble, for the playoff run with his new team, the Nets. I thought Kyrie was cleared to play.
Right.
And at the last second, neither played, obviously.
So he got an extra 6 months to recover because that was a 12-month injury from June to June, and now he's coming back in July. In December.
All I know is that in back-to-back Game 3s in the King's Palace, in LeBron's house in Cleveland, Kevin Durant upstaged him and outplayed him and proved to me, with the weight of the NBA world on his shoulders, because everybody wanted to see Kevin Durant fall on his face after he left Oklahoma City to join forces with Steph and Clay, Draymond. And Kevin Durant was the difference maker. He was the MVP. He took over back-to-back Game 3s and showed you he's just a better player than LeBron James.
Skip. He was on the better team.
That team lost to LeBron.
Okay, but let me ask you a question, Skip. So you're telling me if LeBron James is on that same Warriors team, they're not going to win the title?
They needed something. They needed a difference maker.
I just asked you a simple question, Skip.
I don't know. Maybe he would have been. Maybe. But Kevin Durant's a better player because he's such a better scorer. And do you realize what he had done in the last year that we saw him healthy, going into those playoffs? Do you realize in that final year in Golden State, he averaged 6 assists? That was just one off the team lead, which was Steph. Do you realize that once again, in that third and final year in Golden State, he led that team in win shares, a second-level stat that shows you just how valuable he is? Do you realize that going into those playoffs, where infamously his season ended abruptly, in those playoffs, he still played 12 games?
Yeah.
Do you realize he averaged 32 points a game in those 12 playoff games he did play? Do you realize that led by far the playoffs in scoring?
Yeah.
Do you realize he shot 44% from three in those first 12 games that he did play in the playoffs? He was on a roll. He was on his way to winning, I think, a third straight finals MVP, and then fate intervened, unfortunately, for him, right?
Skip. So, in other words, you're saying that you believe Kevin Durant is a more valuable player to a team than LeBron James.
Well, he averages 6 assists, and he is
Skip.
as lethal from mid-range as
Skip.
anybody this side of Michael Jeffrey
Skip,
Jordan.
Outside of his first year, LeBron James has never averaged less than 6 assists a year since his
But that's
rookie
not
season.
what Kevin Durant does. He does not play point guard.
Okay, so what does LeBron do? So what does
But
Kevin
how
Durant?
valuable is 6 assists from a 7-footer?
Okay,
Wow.
so what about rebounding? He's 7 foot tall. Does he average more rebounds?
Nope, he does
okay,
not.
he's 7 foot tall.
What
Does
about
he average
rim,
more
what,
pounds?
what about rim protection? He can really protect the rim. And he made a case 2 years ago, so it was now 3 years ago, that he wanted to be defensive MVP.
How many times have you been first team all defense?
Well, he thinks he's been in the running for player of the year.
Skip, ain't no running.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you a simple
I'm just
question.
saying, on rim protection, I will take him.
Skip, you know LeBron used to sit in the chair. LeBron could all them chase downs. You say that is that rim protecting? The chase down block, is that rim protection?
Those surprise attacks,
There you go.
that's all for show.
Skip, is it rim protection?
No, not really. Rim protection is standing in the paint and guarding the.
Skip, that's not what KD does. KD was great at weak side help. He was coming off and blocking shots meeting people at the rim. It's okay. Skip, see what you try to do is you try to turn me and says, I'm hating on Kevin Durant. I'm not hating on Kevin Durant. I believe Kevin Durant will pick up where he left off. My concern isn't about Kevin Durant. My concern is about Kyrie and his injury history and how he's missed 112 games in the regular season and the postseason. Kevin Durant can play with anybody. Hell, he spent 8 years with Russ and still averaged 27. He went with Clay, Steph, and Draymond and averaged 26 and went to the finals 3 times and won 2. I'm not worried about KD. Kyrie is more concerned with his injury history and how is he going to play with KD when KD start getting all that major shine.
Andre Iguodala, obviously a big KD fan, played with him, obviously, years in Golden State, now a Miami Heat, has already predicted that Kevin Durant will win the MVP. And I'll co-sign.
Skip, Skip, what does that mean? Well, okay, I'm predicting that Giannis Antetokounmpo will win 3 straight. That ain't nothing. Forget Andre Iguodala to say that, but Skip, you keep telling me.
Kevin Durant does have a couple of rings as opposed to the guy you just mentioned who has no rings.
Oh, but Skip. Kevin Durant went and joined the team. So let me ask you a question. If Clay comes back healthy and Giannis goes and join Clay and Steph, or he joins LeBron and AD.
I've told you about Giannis. He's a complimentary superstar.
It does not matter.
Kevin Durant is a takeover superstar.
He had to take, guess what he had to do? He had to take all of his bags over to Golden State so he can win a ring. If he's what you said he was, he could have done that in OKC.
Kevin Durant won an MVP having to deal with and rise above and win in spite of Russell Westbrook.
And guess what? That same guy, when KD left, he won the MVP and with 3 straight years of triple doubles. So don't make it seem like Russell's a bum.
It was the whole show. I mean,
don't make it seem like Russell's a bum,
it's like,
Skip.
give me the ball and get out of my way.
Skip.
Way to go.
Again, I'm not diminishing KD. KD is historically great. And I believe he will be historically great again. But let me ask you a question.
As Iguodala once said, there's never been a more efficient scorer than Kevin Durant. That he'll take 15 shots and get you 30. It's just like
we've seen LeBron do that.
Yeah.
We just saw LeBron do that last year. Skip, but see, here's the thing. Everybody says Kevin Durant so efficient score. He and LeBron average the same amount of points per game. A guy that averages more assists, more rebounds, average the same amount of points as a guy that averages fewer points excuse me.
Who's the better three-point shooter? Help me out.
KD is a better shooter.
Not even close. Who's the better free throw shooter by about 10 miles? Kevin Durant. In those playoff games, those 12 he played when last seen, he made 90% of his free throws.
And guess what, Skip? Skip, he's a better three-point shooter. He's a better free throw shooter. And guess what? LeBron averages a tick more points per game than Kevin Durant.
So I've told you that Doc Rivers is going to do great things with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and Seth Curry, his son-in-law. I like that team, but they're going to be a 1A team to me, to the Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are loaded top to bottom. And again, you raise a great question, a fair question. How will Kyrie and KD fit? I just believe that because KD does not need the basketball, it will be a great
I'm not worried about KD.
Yeah.
KD is the least of my problem.
Yeah, so we got KD, who won back-to-back MVPs basically in LeBron's house, and we got Kyrie, who made a shot that helped win LeBron a ring in Cleveland.
But why can't Kyrie win that by himself? Why couldn't he do that in Boston? He was supposed to be the guy to get them over the hump. Okay, KD is historically great. Why did he need to go join a two-time MVP? You one of those time unanimous. The only unanimous MVP, a guy that was also a 50, 40, 90 guy. Steph Curry averaged 30 points, shot 50% from the floor, had 40% from the three, and 90% from the free throw line.
Yep.
So why did KD, if KD is that, why would he go do that?
I don't know. I'm still reading that LeBron now wants Greek Freak to come join him in L.A. He needs all the help he can get.
You ain't have no problem with Tom Brady going to look up with players?
Well, he got pushed out the back door.
Okay. So you getting pushed out means you got to go to Tampa.
Okay? So I want to remind everybody, it's now Kevin Durant and Kyrie joining Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie and Jared Allen and Joe Harris, who can just shoot the lights out.
He can.
And Taurean Prince and DeAndre Jordan is still there. And Landry Shamet just went from the Clippers to the Nets, so you got that shooter. Jeff Green, who is a really good, nice player,
I like Uncle Jeff.
Like a pro.
Yeah.
He's a pro basketball
They got him.
player. Yes, they did. And Tyler Johnson, who I've always liked. That's how deep that team goes right now. That's got to be the favorite. Coached by a first-year coach in Steve Nash, who's never coached a dribble in the NBA. But look at this staff. He's got Mike D'Antoni. He's got Jacques Vaughn. He's got
Stoudemire on the staff too now.
He is, but Ime Udoka, who used to be Popovich and then went to Philly, and he's now on that staff. I just love him. He should be a head coach. Somebody give him a shot, but he's on that staff. Stoudemire's on that staff. And my man Tiago Splitter is on that staff, and he has high basketball IQ. That's a coaching staff there.
Now you want to talk about Tiago Splitter.
Yeah.
Where my guy blocked this dunk.
Okay.
You remember that?
You know, you should be ashamed that you take credit for that because I can out-jump Tiago Splitter.
Rim protection.
I can.
That was rim protection.
I can.
He was playing the 5. Rim protection. You love rim protection.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
How can you take any credit for that? It's laughable. It's out there in TV land right now, they're all just laughing at you.
But KD will be fine. There's nothing wrong.
He'll be real
There's
fine.
nothing wrong with his elbow. There's nothing wrong with his shoulder. And hopefully he stays healthy the entire season. I'm not worried about KD being KD. I expect him.
You should be worried about him becoming the best player on the planet once again.
Think about it. Becoming. My guy there. My guy been saying nobody has been has been on Mount Everest, Mount Olympus.
I thought you
Kilimanjaro longer than my guy.
I thought you just acknowledged that he wasn't even the best player on his own team last year.
Who?
Your guy. The lowercase goat, as in barnyard.
No. I say baby goat.
Yeah.
That's AD.
Oh, okay.
And then, we got big goat.
Big goat.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.